Have you ever tried approaching a cat only to have it dart away, watching you cautiously from a distance? You might try again, hoping for better results, but the same thing happens. It runs off, just out of reach. Maybe, after several failed attempts, you give up and shift your attention elsewhere. And then, as if out of nowhere, the cat suddenly appears, walks toward you, and calmly jumps into your lap. It's a curious phenomenon we've all encountered in some way. The more we pursue something, the more it seems to slip away. But when we stop chasing, it often comes to us effortlessly. This seemingly backward principle touches on a fascinating truth, the law of reversed effort. Firstly, we've all heard the phrase, effort leads to success. Hard work, focus, and persistence are seen as key ingredients to achieving our goals. But is that always the case? The law of reversed effort teaches us something different. Sometimes, the more we push toward a goal, the further we get from it. As counterintuitive as it sounds, trying too hard can actually backfire. This isn't to say that success doesn't require effort, but knowing when to step back and allow things to unfold naturally is just as important. It's about understanding the delicate balance between action and non-action, and that takes wisdom and experience. In one of our previous videos, we explored this concept in the context of happiness. As best-selling author Mark Manson famously put it, wanting a positive experience is a negative experience. Accepting a negative experience is a positive experience. In other words, the harder we chase happiness, the less happy we become, because we're reinforcing a sense of lack. The more content we are with what we have, the more we invite happiness into our lives. This paradox extends beyond happiness, though. Today, we'll dive deeper into the law of reversed effort from the angle of performance, achieving goals, and even overcoming fears. The English writer and philosopher Aldous Huxley, who coined this concept, stated that real proficiency is found in the paradox of doing and not doing. He emphasized that success comes not from relentless effort, but from a combination of focused action and mindful relaxation. He once said, "The harder we try with the conscious will to do something, the less we shall succeed. It's about letting go, trusting the deeper processes within ourselves, and allowing those natural abilities to take over." Consider the classic example of someone struggling with insomnia. The more they force themselves to sleep, the more they stay awake. Frustration builds, and sleep becomes even more elusive. Yet, as soon as they stop trying so hard, sleep naturally takes over. This simple situation illustrates a profound truth. Sleep, like many things in life, cannot be forced. We've all been there, trying desperately to sleep, only to find that the harder we try, the less relaxed we feel. That's because sleep is the ultimate form of relaxation, and any effort to force it is the complete opposite of what's needed. Attraction works in much the same way. You can't make yourself attracted to someone, and you certainly can't force someone to be attracted to you. More often than not, the more we chase someone, the less appealing we become. Clinginess tends to repel, while giving space often invites curiosity and attraction. There's an old saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and it's rooted in this very idea. Sometimes, stepping back allows desire to grow. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist and philosopher, observed this dynamic as well. He spoke about anticipatory anxiety, the idea that when we focus too much on specific outcomes, we often create the exact conditions that prevent us from achieving them. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl shares an example of a person who stutters. The more that person tries to speak clearly, the worse their stuttering becomes. The anxiety surrounding the outcome amplifies the problem. It's not just speech. This applies to many areas of life. People who try too hard to have fun often end up not enjoying themselves at all because they're too fixated on the result. Frankl introduced a technique called paradoxical intention as a solution to this. Instead of trying to avoid certain outcomes, we lean into them. For example, if you're struggling to sleep, instead of forcing yourself to sleep, try telling yourself to stay awake. By shifting the intention, you remove the pressure, and suddenly, sleep becomes much easier. The same applies to stuttering. Telling yourself it's okay to stutter can ease the anxiety that causes it in the first place. Let's shift focus to something many people can relate to: learning to drive. For most beginners, driving is a nerve-wracking and complicated task. You're trying to coordinate pedals, mirrors, and traffic signs all at once. But over time, with practice, these actions become second nature. You don't have to consciously think about every little move. Your body just knows what to do. That's the beauty of what's often referred to as the flow state, or what the Taoists call Wu Wei. It's when we're so immersed in an activity that it feels effortless, like a basketball player who seems to be moving in slow motion, instinctively knowing where the ball will go next. Yet, the moment we become too conscious of this flow, when we start overthinking, we lose it. The more we intellectualize, the more we disconnect from that natural rhythm. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung described our conscious mind as just a small part of the larger psyche, like the tip of an iceberg. The unconscious mind, much larger and more powerful, operates below the surface, guiding many of our actions without us even realizing it. Aldous Huxley shared a similar perspective, noting that when we relax the conscious self, we allow the wider self to take over. This wider self taps into our unconscious abilities, allowing us to perform without overthinking. It's the art of combining relaxation with activity, letting go of the need for constant control. Even the legendary author Charles Bukowski echoed this sentiment when asked how he writes. You don't try. That's very important. Not to try. In conclusion, the law of reversed effort teaches us that sometimes, the harder we try, the worse our results. But that doesn't mean we should do nothing. There's a middle path, a delicate balance between effort and letting go. We need to practice, learn, and develop our skills, but we also need to know when to relax and allow those skills to emerge naturally. It's about getting out of our own way, as Aldous Huxley put it, combining relaxation with activity. If this idea resonates with you, and you want to dive deeper into these fascinating concepts, be sure to check out our previous videos. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with more thought-provoking content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, sometimes the best way to succeed is to stop trying so hard.